From the beginning of the story, we learn that a dangerous zombie virus has destroyed the entire city. Death and fear are spread everywhere. In this situation, Francis leaves the city with his wife Eris and his 2 sons, elder son Joshua and younger son Lucas, to save them and heads toward his old village farmhouse. The blood stains on their car clearly show how dangerous the journey was and that most people in the country have already turned into zombies. Francis hopes that once they reach the village, his family will be safe. But as soon as they enter the farmhouse, Francis is shocked to see the scattered belongings. He calls out to his parents and goes into his father's room, where he sees his father lying on the bed with a gun in his hand. Francis understands that his father killed himself before turning into a zombie. He takes his father's gun and watch with him. Suddenly he hears a noise. His mother is still alive in a half-mutilated condition. She keeps hitting her head against the wall and repeatedly says sorry. Suddenly she attacks Francis. But helplessly Francis shoots her. Later, he buries both his parents and realizes that the virus has now reached the village as well. After this, Joshua tells Francis that they should take essential supplies from the storeroom. Both of them go there and see that the farmhouse caretaker has hanged himself. After a few moments of silence, Francis tells Joshua to take the keys from the caretaker's waist. Fearfully, as soon as Joshua pulls the keys, the caretaker's body suddenly falls down. Terrified, Joshua runs outside. Eris sees him frightened and asks what happened, and Francis realizes that the real danger is now about to begin. Francis tells Eris that nothing serious happened, just that a dead body fell on Joshua. Hearing this, Eris angrily says that he should not make Joshua do such dangerous things. But Francis clearly says that if they want to survive here, they must learn all this, otherwise no one will survive for long. After this, he gives a piece of sugar cane to his younger son Lucas to eat. Seeing Lucas happily eating, Francis feels happy, which clearly shows that he cares more for his younger son. Then Eris takes Francis to a locked room downstairs. As soon as Francis sees that room, he becomes frightened because it reminds him of his childhood. In his childhood, his father used to lock him in this room as punishment. When night falls, the whole family sits together to eat. At that moment, Joshua finds a radio and tries to turn it on. But Francis does not like this at all. He stops Joshua and tells him to eat first. During the meal, Joshua tells them that he received a message from his girlfriend Alice. She is going to the northern mountains with her family, where the government has created a safe place to protect people. Hearing this, Francis immediately refuses and says that he will not go to any safe place. He believes that people will be kept there like animals and will have to fight for food. He clearly states that everyone will stay here. But Eris does not like this decision at all. At night, Eris tells Francis not to talk so strictly with Joshua because he has grown up now. That same night, Francis sees a terrifying dream in which his father appears in a horrifying form. He suddenly wakes up in fear and tightly holds Eris. In the morning, while talking, Eris clearly says that she does not like living in this place at all. Due to the nightmares and Eris's insistence, Francis is forced to agree to go to the safe place in the mountains. The family sets off in the car. On the way, they see many vehicles standing on a bridge, and the road is blocked with iron barricades. Francis suggests returning to the farmhouse. But Eris says that one part of the road is still open. Eris gets out of the car and tries to remove the barricade, but she cannot even move it. Suddenly, a zombie appears in front of her. Terrified, Eris starts running. At that moment, Francis gets out of the car, shoots the zombie and saves Eris's life. But the sound of the gunshot attracts more zombies, and they attack the car in which the children are sitting. Without panicking, Francis cleverly draws all the zombies' attention toward himself. The zombies are about to catch him, but somehow he escapes and throws a grenade at them. With a loud explosion, all the zombies die and the family survives. But now the car does not start. Helplessly, everyone walks back toward the farmhouse. After reaching home, Francis clearly says that from now on, everything will be according to Eris's wishes. The next morning, Francis goes alone to the bridge to bring the car. When the car starts, a thought comes to his mind that if he brings the car back, Eris will again talk about leaving this place. Thinking this, he leaves the car there and returns. When Eris asks about the car, Francis lies and says that the car was not working. At night, Francis fixes the house lights and the cooling machine and starts laughing and playing with the children. Everyone dances and enjoys, while Eris watches them from a distance. She feels that Francis has now accepted this place as his home and wants to stay here permanently. After some time, Joshua and Lucas look at an old photo album. In one photo, they see their father Francis with Uncle Diego. Lucas says that Joshua looks exactly like Uncle Diego. Hearing this, Joshua becomes confused. Slowly, Joshua begins to understand that Francis is not his real father, but Diego was. This is why Francis always loved Lucas more. Thinking this, Joshua becomes even more suspicious. The next morning, when Francis wakes up, he apologizes to Eris and admits that everything that has happened so far is his responsibility. Hearing this, Eris also apologizes for her behavior. Francis forgives Eris and says that from today they will start fresh. He assures her that they will stay here and share the responsibility of raising the children together. After the conversation ends, Francis goes outside toward the barn to collect eggs. But as soon as he reaches there, he sees a rabid dog tearing apart the chickens. Francis tries to scare it away, but the dog suddenly bites his wrist hard. Terrified, Francis immediately returns home. Eris panics, bandages his wound, and says that they must leave this place immediately. She explains that a rabid dog bite is extremely dangerous and if the infection spreads, it could cost him his life. Eris insists on going to the hospital, but Francis stubbornly refuses and says he will not go anywhere. According to him, proper treatment at home will heal the wound. Meanwhile, Joshua goes outside on the road and tries to catch a radio signal. There, he hears something about Delta Camp. He runs back home and tells his parents everything. But Francis does not believe him. Angrily, he tells Joshua to stop lying. Francis has accepted that there are no safe places left in the world anymore. Either people are dead or have turned into zombies. During dinner, the whole family again talks about Delta Camp. Francis explains that the outside world is completely destroyed and there is no hope of survival there. According to him, this place is the safest and they should stay here. The next morning, Joshua comes to his father and says that he also wants to do something for his family. He says that he is no longer a child and wants his freedom. But Francis ignores him and says that he is still not old enough to make his own decisions. He also says that sometimes, to protect the family, one has to kill someone. When he asks Joshua if he could do that, Joshua replies that if it is necessary to protect the family, he can do it. To test Joshua's courage, Francis takes him outside to the field. He aims and tells Joshua to fire. Joshua tries many times but misses the target. Francis angrily shouts and says that if he cannot protect the family, then he should stop talking big. Despite being scared, Joshua takes a deep breath and starts firing in anger. Hearing the gunshots, Eris comes outside with Lucas and angrily tells Francis to stop. At that moment, she notices a zombie standing in front of them. Within seconds, not just one but many zombies start approaching them. Francis shouts for everyone to run. They all run inside the house, close the door and block it with heavy objects. Going upstairs, they see that zombies have surrounded the entire house. Soon the zombies start trying to break the door. Francis realizes that escaping from here will not be easy. Suddenly they hear the sound of a vehicle outside. A man arrives in a car and starts honking loudly. The zombies immediately turn their attention toward the car. The man drives away and all the zombies chase him. But Francis recognizes the car and realizes whose it is. The next morning, Francis goes to meet that man by the riverside. There, he discovers that the man is his elder brother Diego. It was Diego who saved their lives the previous night. Diego tells him that he came to visit their parents, but Francis informs him that they are no longer alive. Diego offers to stay and help, but Francis does not like this at all. In reality, Francis hates Diego because after Francis's marriage, Diego had a relationship with Eris, and Joshua is actually Diego's son, not Francis's. In anger, Francis tells Diego to leave immediately. Before leaving, Diego gives him a map and says that if they want to survive, they should go to the camp in the northern mountains. He also warns that the city zombies are slowly moving toward this area. Francis is about to burn the map in anger, but at the last moment he stops and keeps it. After returning home, Francis shows Diego's jacket to Eris. Eris becomes sad and silently goes to her room. Now Francis starts feeling that zombies could reach here at any moment, so he strengthens the doors and windows even more. Meanwhile, while playing, Lucas reaches the basement. As soon as he looks outside through a window, he screams in fear. Eris comes there and sees an old zombie standing outside. She explains to Lucas that this zombie is weak and not dangerous. But Francis silently listens to everything. He goes outside, chases the zombie, kills it and cuts off its head. Returning home, Francis gathers everyone and says that there are still very dangerous zombies outside, so they must stay in the farmhouse because it is the safest place. But Eris realizes that Francis is not telling the truth. Later, when Francis goes to take a bath, Joshua enters his room and sees the map Diego gave him. After some time, Francis comes out and tells Joshua to leave the room. As night falls, Francis suddenly starts preparing to celebrate Christmas. Everyone tells him that it is only September and Christmas cannot happen now. But Francis says that for him, today is Christmas. From here, it becomes clear that Francis's mental condition is slowly deteriorating. During dinner, Joshua tells his mother about the map. Eris asks Francis where the map is. Hearing this, Francis becomes furious and says that he has no map. Then he tells the children that their mother wanted to run away with someone else but could not because of the virus. Hearing this, the children start crying and ask Eris for the truth. Eris helplessly accepts that what Francis is saying is true. After this, Francis warns everyone that no one will go outside anymore. He picks up the map and throws it into the fire. Seeing this, Eris angrily slaps Francis and goes to her room. The next day, Francis goes to the field to collect sugarcane. After he leaves, Eris talks to the children. It is clear that the children feel safer with their mother because Francis has started behaving strangely and does not seem mentally stable. In the evening, Francis returns and brings a large wooden plank and fixes it in front of the door. He tells everyone that very dangerous zombies are roaming outside and no one will go out now. He even says that if anyone tries to leave, he will attack them. Hearing this, Joshua says that his father is lying just to keep everyone locked inside the house. Francis becomes furious at Joshua's words. He slaps Joshua, calls him an illegitimate child, and starts abusing him. Suddenly, there is a knock on the door. Outside stands a soldier asking for help. Francis tries to send him away, but Joshua opens the door and lets him in. Eris sees that the soldier is badly injured. The soldier says that he worked at Delta Camp and had gone to the city in search of food, where zombies attacked them. All his companions were killed, but he somehow survived. He says that a man risked his life to save him and, before dying, gave him the address of this house. Everyone understands that the man was Diego. Eris anxiously asks if Diego is alive. The soldier says that zombies surrounded him and he was probably killed. Eris then treats the soldier's wounds and asks Francis to let him stay for the night. Francis agrees but puts the condition that the soldier will stay in the basement. At night, Joshua tells his mother not to worry. He says that he knows Francis is not his real father, which is why Francis treats him so harshly. Still, he considers Francis his father. Joshua says that he will go outside at night to check the road conditions. Eris allows him, and Joshua quietly leaves the house. The next morning, Francis wakes up and sees that Joshua is not at home. He asks Eris where Joshua is, but she does not answer. Francis notices the open door and realizes that Joshua has run away. This realization affects his mind so deeply that he goes mad with anger. He picks up a hammer and kills the soldier locked in the basement by striking his head. Seeing this, Eris and Lucas tremble in fear. After that, Francis violently pushes Eris, and she becomes unconscious. When Eris regains consciousness, she sees that Francis has locked her and Lucas in the basement. On the other side, Francis sees the same dog that had bitten him earlier. In anger, he goes outside and brutally kills it. Francis's mental condition completely deteriorates. He cooks the dog's meat and brings it to Eris and Lucas, trying to force them to eat it. Eris refuses. In anger, Francis throws the plate and a knife falls to the floor. Quietly, Eris hides the knife under her foot. Eris then tries to calm Francis and tells him that he is the most important person in her life. But Francis notices the knife hidden under her foot. He picks it up and locks Eris in the basement again. Eris tries to escape, but she slips and becomes unconscious again. After some time, when Eris regains consciousness, Lucas asks her what they should do now. Eris tells him a plan. Lucas starts screaming loudly. Hearing his screams, Francis runs toward them. Taking advantage of this moment, Eris attacks Francis, knocks him unconscious and locks him in the basement. She then escapes outside with Lucas. In the basement, Francis drifts into memories of his childhood. Outside, Eris tries to escape with Lucas, but at the door she sees Diego, who has now turned into a zombie. Terrified, Eris grabs Lucas and runs back inside the house, but zombie Diego also enters. He directly attacks Lucas. To save her son, Eris comes forward, but the zombie attacks her as well. In the basement, Francis hears their screams. He uses all his strength to break the door and reaches upstairs. In anger, he attacks Diego and kills him with a knife. After this, Francis angrily asks Eris why she did this to him. At that moment, Lucas comes forward, and everyone sees that the zombie has bitten Lucas. Seeing this, both Eris and Francis are terrified. At this moment, Francis becomes completely calm. His anger disappears and he breaks down. He begs Eris to save their son. Helplessly, Eris cuts off Lucas's infected arm and bandages the wound. Seeing this, Francis breaks down from inside. Eris tells him to quickly bring the car so they can take Lucas to a doctor. Francis runs toward the van, but there he sees his elder son Joshua standing with a gun. Seeing Francis covered in blood, Joshua assumes that his father has completely lost his mind and may have killed Eris. In fear and anger, Joshua shoots him. When Joshua reaches the injured Francis, Francis holds his son's hand and says that he always considered Joshua his own son. He apologizes if he ever hurt him. Hearing this, Joshua breaks down and cries, saying that he has made a huge mistake unknowingly. But at that moment, Francis dies there. Joshua breaks down crying uncontrollably. He realizes that everything is over. He then takes the van and returns home where Eris is waiting for him. Eris still does not know that Francis is dead. Now neither Francis nor his brother Diego is alive. The responsibility of the entire family now falls solely on Eris, and with this scene the film ends. Like and share the video and subscribe to the channel by pressing the bell icon. See you in the next video. Till then, bye bye. Take care.